Morning, guys. All right, so for today, it's going to be about 10 or 11 minutes long. I hope you guys have a golf ball or tennis ball for today. And for the first few minutes or so, I'm actually going to be doing some exercises using this spiky ball. So if you have something like that at home, but you don't have it with you right now, you can try it later, again, when you want to view this recording on our YouTube page later on. So with that said, I'm going to start with the ball. And we're going to work on using our chest. So one arm all the way out to the side, close in right on the chest, one hand over the other, elbows up. And what I want you to do is press on your chest, going side to side or figure 8 motions, just like this. Pressing down as much as you can on your pectoral, on your chest. For another 10 seconds. This can be a little bit awkward trying to do the figure 8s at first, so just practice when you can, or you can go side to side if you need to make it a little bit easier. Let's switch to the other side. Again, arms all the way out. Close that elbow, one hand over the other, and either do side to sides right on the chest or, again, figure 8s. And we're going to do that for about 30 seconds together. Try to keep your shoulders back. Don't round your shoulders in. Keeping your shoulders back will help open up the chest and really get a more effective trigger point training out of this for your chest muscles. We have another 10 seconds before we move on to the next exercise. Do what you can. Press down as hard as you can tolerate. And excellent. Next up, I'm going to use my fingers more than my palm for applying pressure right on the trap muscle. Not so much the shoulder, just the trap muscle here where the neck meets the collarbone. And we're going to do back and forth motions. We can try back and forth in one spot. Maybe we'll move a little more to the side to get other parts of this big muscle. This really helps for anyone who has a tendency to shrug, whether they're sitting at home or just trying to stay still. So it helps to open up those muscles and avoid shrugging. And let's switch hands, tilting the head again to the other side. Again, using my fingers to apply pressure on that trap muscle. And we'll start a little early. Let's go back and forth. Again, you can go a little bit closer to the neck or a little more to the side, wherever you feel the most tension. If you feel there's a knot, I want you to just apply pressure and hold there for about 5 seconds. Again, if you have a knot anywhere. Going at your pace. If you want to go a little faster or slower than I am, that's okay. We have about 5 more seconds. And excellent. All right, I'm going to switch hands and I'm going to bring this hand right onto my shoulder blade. I'm going to tilt back a little bit so you guys can see. We're going to work on the triceps here, and we're going to do that with small motions up and down like this. And this is a slightly bigger muscle, so if you want to just move a little more to the side, moving up and down, getting different parts of the tricep, you can. You can also do small circular motions around a knot or applying pressure and holding on any knots you may have. Doing what you can to get the most out of this. And good, release. Switch the ball, switching hands. Again, placing the hand right on the shoulder blade if you can. I'm going to tilt my head back just a little bit. And I'm going to do up and downward motions like so. Again, this is only going to last about 30 seconds for us today. Small up and down motions or circular motions if you'd like, especially around any knots you may find. Applying as much pressure as you can. You can switch from circular motions to up and downward motions at any time. And very good. Bring that down. All right, I'm going to switch from the spiky ball to this ball right here. And I want to apply pressure on my back right under the shoulder blade. And I'm going to do that while lying on the floor. So placing the ball here, bringing it down. And I'm going to either lean into it or off as much as I need to while doing diagonal motions with my hand like so. Again, if this is too much for anyone at home, you can lean a little more to the side to relieve some of that tension. And you should have full control on how much pressure you can apply right under the shoulder blade. Again, going for the muscle and not the bone. And very good. Let's switch sides from one to the other. Lying down. And diagonal motions with your hand. Again, if you need to relieve some of that pressure, you can lean to your side. Notice I'm even having my legs leaned a little bit to the side here. Try to do this while resting your head on the floor. I'm going to go just a little bit longer here. And very good. Taking that ball, I'm going to turn to my side, focusing on the hip flexors. So placing the ball right on the hip flexor, leaning down on the floor, and applying as much pressure as you can in that very small spot. Feel free to rock back and forth if you'd like. You can also do this with bent elbows like so, or you can lie down, whichever one's more comfortable for you. Another way to really get a lot of pressure onto this part of your body is to lift that leg up. We'll do for 2 more reps before we switch to the other side. And very good. Okay, switching from one side to the other. I'm going to go right into it. Find that sweet spot for yourself at home. And again, you can do this with either bent elbow or straight arm. Feel free to rock back and forth to apply and relieve pressure. And for a little extra for trigger point training today, feel free to lift that leg up and down like so. Let's do 2 more just like this. Excellent. Okay, staying in this prone position, going from the hip flexor to the quad. It's a big area here, so find whether it's inside, outside, downward, upward, wherever you feel the most tension. Apply pressure right on that spot. And feel free to hold. And what I'd like to do here is bend and extend that leg we're working on, applying as much pressure on the quad as possible. And I like to do this with bent elbows, but if you want to do straight arms, that's okay. Let's do 1 more. And good. Tilting to the side, going from one leg to the other. Again, finding that sweet spot where you feel the most tension. Leaning into it. And whew, bend and extend that other leg. Again, feel free to straighten out your arms if you'd like, if this is more comfortable for you. We got another 10 seconds. Remember to breathe. And very good. Switching from the quad to working the calf muscle. And what I'd like to do here is put the ball right where I'm going to feel it the most and simply apply pressure by pressing down onto the floor. And I can move a little back and forth if I want, or I can put one ankle right over that knee and rock back and forth. putting my ankle right here by my knee helps to apply a little bit more pressure as I rock back and forth, letting the ball roll forward and back. Let's do one more back and forth, and good. I'm going to switch legs, putting the ball right on that sweet spot where I'm going to feel the most tension. And I'm going to start applying pressure on the knee now and rocking back and forth. Deep breaths here. This is our last exercise for this morning. We have another 15 seconds. Deep breath. Finding that sweet spot, and all done there. And that is it for trigger point training this morning. Hopefully you guys got a lot out of that. And if you want to try and do those same exercises again later today or at any other point, feel free to check out this recording on our YouTube site. Again, I'm using both this exercise ball and a spiky ball, especially for those exercises I had in the beginning. So you can try that later if you'd like. You can also find these on Amazon if you don't have one at home, but you'd like to use it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat, and I'll be sure to answer them as soon as I can. Thank you for joining me today, and have a good rest of your day. Bye, guys.